Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever y'all are watching this, whether it's in October or in months down the road. And before we get started with everything, a couple of things that you are going to need today if um, participating is I'm going to have everyone grab either a piece of paper and a pen, something on their device, just a way where you can keep track of some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So my name is Maddie Evans. I am one of the USU master's students who have the pleasure of being a part of CVC. So I am in my final year of my master's program, which is extremely exciting, and I can't wait to continue to develop as a therapist as I learn and grow. I love being outside, enjoying the autumn leaves. Right now is my favorite. I love going up any of the canyons here in Cache Valley. It just brings my heart a little bit of joy. I also love Alaska with my whole heart and soul. It is one of the best places on earth, and if you haven't been there, I encourage you to go. Maybe if that's not your cup of tea, I encourage you to find something that you do love. I also love avocados and the color green. And one of my biggest fears in life is orca whales. So that's a little bit about me, so you're not spending your next little bit of time with a complete stranger. But as we get started today, I just want to thank y'all for taking the time to recenter yourselves a little bit, to give yourself some space, to allow yourselves to have a different experience and be able to navigate life. So proud of you for taking some self-care. So our focus of today's group is navigating stress. As holidays are coming, as kids are growing up, as life is happening, whether you're a student like myself, whether you're working a full-time job, trying to find a job, navigating the life of having different responsibilities and different cares, stress is a part of life, no matter who we are or what we're doing. Stress, we know, is not inherently bad, nor is it inherently like awesome all the time. So with stress, we got to find a balance. Stress is what allows us to get up in the morning. It's what allows us to keep going when we get through difficult things and helps us, gives us that little bit of motivation. When our stress gets too high, though, it can freeze us. It can prevent us from continuing down the path that we wanted to go down, or can just paralyze us as we don't know necessarily what to do with everything we have going on. So we know that as we are experiencing life, as we are continuing to grow and develop as human beings, whether we were just born or whether we're 99 continuing to go on, we are continuously developing. And stress continues to allow us to develop, allow us to learn, and can sometimes be a pain as a giant stumbling block. So my hope today is to help y'all with a couple of exercises that can help to understand a little bit more about the stress that's going on in your life, so that these stressful rocks or stumbling blocks can be stepping stones, can be more of those opportunities to turn to and go towards the goals in life that you want. So before we start talking about all of our stress, I want to provide us with a place of centering. And so we're just going to do a quick little mindfulness activity together, and then we will jump into navigating stress. So I want you to find a spot, if you're not already comfortable, to find a place where you can be comfortable, where you can just kind of let yourself relax, know that you don't have to have all of the stress or all of the craziness in your life going on. And I just want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and just take a couple deep breaths. I know for me sometimes talking about stress can make me remember all of the stress in my life that I have going on, whether I'm excited for it or extra nervous for it. So I want you to recognize your breath as you take a deep breath in. And as you let it out, what is your body telling you? Where is it tense? Where is it uneasy? And as you recognize those areas in your body, I want you to focus on those areas. It's in your neck. Roll your neck out a little bit. In your shoulders, roll them out, relax them. Continue to take your breaths. And recognizing any of those tight areas or tense areas in your body. Now, if at any point during our activity you start to feel really tense and feel like you need to take a moment to center yourself, please do so. Whether that's pausing the recording, stepping away for a moment, just to recenter yourself. Find your breath, relax, navigate the things that are going on for you. And when you're ready, I would like to invite you to come back, moving your head a little bit, wiggling toes and fingers, rolling out your shoulders, continuing your breath. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, remembering where you're at. So, again, like I said earlier, if there's ever a point where you feel nerves or you feel that stress is just reaching up over the top, take a moment to ground yourself, to come back. So the 2 activities that I am going to have us do today in terms of navigating stress and understanding stress starts first with understanding what are the stressors in our lives. Excuse me. So on a blank piece of paper, on your devices, on something, I would like y'all to just take the next 5 minutes and just write out all of the stressors in your life. And you're like, maybe you're like, I have so many more, it would take me hours to write it. But for now, just take 5 minutes, set a timer on your phone. I'm going to pause the recording so we're not just staring at me the whole time. But just pause the recording, set a timer on your phone, look at what time it is, and take the next 5 minutes to just write out all your stressors, whether they're huge, whether they're little, and unfiltered. Just write it out, get it out on that piece of paper. So I will see y'all in 5 minutes. Welcome back, y'all. I know that looking at my little paper, even just over the last 5 minutes, can feel a little bit overwhelming for me. So the next part of understanding our stress, knowing what to do with it, how to do with it, is to organize it a little bit. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to take another piece of paper, use another area on our devices, to have 3 areas. So whether this is 3 columns, if you want 3 separate papers, you're just going to separate these list of stressors into 3 different areas. So the first area or column, at the very top, I just want you to write, let go. In the next one, I want you to write, need help. And in the final column, I want you to write, stuck. So as you have your 3 columns on your paper, I'm just going to explain a little bit about what each one of these columns mean. So with the first column, the let go column, as you look at your paper, right, that has all your stressors or your other point, you are going to look through them and going to see these are the things that I can let go of. I'm willing to take that weight off my shoulders. I just haven't given myself the permission to do so yet. So whether this is stressors that are happening in life that are from years ago, a comment that you said that you regretted, a stubbed toe, pain from an experience where you felt betrayed and have been able to process that, you just haven't let yourself let go of that yet, in the sense of, I don't have to hold this weight anymore. That's the column that those things are going to go into. Now, once we let go of things, it doesn't necessarily mean that we completely forget about them, but we give ourselves the permission to set that weight aside, to not have that giant backpack with all those rocks on. We may still remember and have the memory of what it was like to carry those rocks around or to have that backpack so extremely heavy, but we don't have to carry the weight with ourselves day in and day out. So this next column, our need help column, are those rocks that we are in our backpack. They're a little heavy. We're still carrying them, but we're still able to go. And what we may need here is another perspective, another voice, whether that's with a partner, with a good friend, with mom and dad, with your dog. Probably not your dog, because you can't talk back at 10 and give different perspectives, whether that's in therapy. But just some things that a different perspective would really be helpful and would help you to maybe understand a little bit more of what that stressor is in life. So again, here in the need help column, ones where you're still able to trudge on in life, maybe things are starting to feel a little bit overwhelming, but you're still going, you're still able to move. You haven't quite hit your point of paralyzation in the stress when thinking about those certain things. So you're not 100% ready to let go of those things because you still got some navigating to do with them. But you know that you need some help with them. In this last column, in the stuck column, these are the stressors in life that have pushed us over the edge. When we think about them, we don't know what to do with them. We're absolutely paralyzed and just feel the immense stress and pressure for wanting to navigate, knowing how to handle those things, but not knowing how to handle them. So those things that keep us in our tracks, it's that rock in the backpack that just absolutely drops us, or the big boulder in front of us that we don't know how to navigate around as we are going on our journey. So as you write these down, I'm going to pause the recording again and want y'all to just take the next 10 minutes now to write down all of the stressors on your list in one of these columns. And you may start to think of more stressors that are there, include them, write them down. Again, whether those are things from 15, 20 years ago to things that happened yesterday or even right before you're watching this recording. So as you continue to do this, again, if you get to a point where, especially as you're starting to think of those stuck items where you're feeling pushed over the edge or are getting really heightened, take a moment, connect with your breath, connect with your body, give yourself that permission to go to those places knowing you don't have to handle them all right now and all alone. So again, I'm going to pause the recording, take the next 10 minutes to navigate that, and then when we come back, we'll talk about it a little bit more. Hello again, everyone. I hope that this has been something so far that has been insightful for you. So as you look now at your paper that you have, you organize your stress a little bit. So as we look at these things, as we see and realize and understand a little bit more of the stress that's going on with our lives, we can know what to do with it. So with those things that are in your let go column, an invitation that I would like to leave with y'all today is to do some sort of ritual. Whether this is writing these on a piece of paper and going and burning those, or writing them on a rock and throwing the rock away, doing some sort of ritual where you can physically let go of these things, physically let go of the rocks that have been dragging you down. And I want to invite you to find a time when you're going to do that. Whether that's even right after this, ripping up that side, tearing it into a bunch of pieces and throwing it in the trash. With your need help section, this is an area where I would like to invite you to seek that help, right? Whether that's things to bring up to your therapist in therapy, things to talk to your partner about, things to reach out to a friend or someone who knows you well, who will give you that perspective that you're searching for and seeking. And just take some time to know and navigate these things. Now, with those in the stuck column, I want you to give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to connect with yourself again and invite y'all to have moments where you can realize that these are really big things that are keeping you paralyzed. Now, these are things that I would also invite you to get some help with, to let people know, hey, I'm feeling really stuck with this. If you're in therapy, it is a really great thing to bring up to your therapist. Know how to navigate those things, process and navigate those with another voice as well. So the point and purpose of being able to organize our stress like this is so that we can kind of watch things go down the line. So those things that we may feel stuck in at the moment, we can move to our need help. Those things eventually that are in our need help, we can move to our let go, and the process continues. So this is a really good exercise to do, especially when we're feeling really stressed and don't really know what to do with all of that stress. If we feel like we've hit a moment where the last rock in our backpack has dropped us to the ground, whether we have hit our point where we're just so completely overwhelmed that it's stress on top of stress on top of stress on top of stress, and we're just in that paralyzing moment. Taking 15 to 20 minutes to organize our stress can be really helpful in knowing where to start, in knowing which things we can let go of, and just having a better idea of all of the crazy going on in life. I know that for me, it can be really helpful to, when I'm feeling really stressed, to kind of put everything on paper and be like, oh yeah, I have reason to be feeling stressed, and helps me navigate that a little bit more. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this, especially as the holidays are coming. Stress with family can be coming. And here in Cache Valley, stress with winter and all that entails. Maybe you're one of the winter junkies who absolutely loves winter and snowmobiling and skiing, and I'm very excited and happy for you. So thank you all again. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And again, if you have any questions, comments, let us know, reach out. We're happy to help, but have a beautiful day. Bye, y'all.